There is a lot of talk about Ruben Amorim wanting to resign again, ready to walk away. This isn't the first time there's been rumours and talk of Amorim ready to resign, ready to just walk. He's just done. I mean, he said things like sometimes he wants to quit. There was reports after the Brighton game he tried to quit and Ineos convinced him to stay and said they were going to back him. Apparently he's tried to quit or been tempted to quit in the past, which isn't really the most inspiring thing you want from your manager. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some more updates on Michael Carrick. There were some reports today that were looking at Michael Carrick as an interim. There's now more reports on that. We're going to talk about the latest on Xavi, more updates about Xavi wanting the Man United job coming from Fabrizio Romano. And Romano did say Amorim's job is not safe. You know, he needs to produce some results. Amorim's going to get the Sunderland game. But if we don't beat Sunderland, he could go. Mainoo was dreaming of a move to Napoli and could still go, but I think right now it's very likely that Mainoo is going to outlive Amorim. Unless Amorim changes something and produces some miracle and against Sunderland in the next few games because he changes his system, which is something he says he won't do, but if he does change his system and does make it work, then Amorim could potentially stay at United, turn around and succeed, which is something a lot of us don't see coming, but it is very possible. I just don't think we're going to see that because Amorim's made it clear he's not going to change. So we'll talk about that, but also Shea Lacey shocked a few Manchester United players in training. He's looking really good, apparently. Maybe there's a debut coming up for Shea Lacey. We'll have to wait and see. So, hello, and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to your 10-minute news roundup. If you are new to the channel, I do a 10-minute news roundup every evening, rounding up all the latest Manchester United news into 10 minutes for you guys. I'm currently filming this at halftime while the Champions League games are on. Let's start by talking about Ruben Amorim. Man United insiders fear Ruben Amorim may resign rather than be sacked. Red flag. Ruben Amorim is understood to be taken aback by how much scrutiny is on the Manchester United manager and the knee-jerk reaction to every defeat. It's not every defeat. You've lost 17 games. If you'd have won 7 games and lost 1, there wouldn't be this reaction. There's a reaction to your loss to Brentford because this is your 17th loss. You've got a 22% or 24%, I can't remember what it was, win record in the Premier League. Your win record is so much lower than anybody else's. It's not a knee-jerk reaction to a loss. It's 17 losses in the league in less than a year. You've lost 50% of your matches to Manchester United. You've not won back-to-back games. It's not a knee-jerk reaction. Now look, you're a Manchester United manager. You'd be getting less scrutiny if you did this for another team, of course. But Man United shouldn't be losing 17 out of 34 games. No Manchester United manager should have a 23-24% win rate. You're getting scrutiny because you're the worst manager Manchester United have ever seen by a long way. And it's not all your fault. You didn't get your midfielders, you didn't get completely backed. You've got some crap players, but you're getting scrutiny because you finished 15th. You made us worse than what we were before. And as H says here, I don't like how common the resign and walk talk is being chucked about. I get it, he's emotional, but channel that initiative into finding solutions. Can't go into Friday's presser talking about leaving, knuckle down and win games, get serious. Yeah, I don't get Ruben Amorim. Like, we know that the pressure, we know that you don't like it, we know that you're unhappy, so channel that emotion into trying to find solutions. He's doing the same thing again. The way we set up versus Sunderland will be the same way we set up versus Brentford and the same way we set up versus Grimsby, which doesn't work. If I'm Ruben Amorim, I'm thinking, well, this isn't working. I need to change it. I cannot go out like this. I need to change it. And instead, he's thinking, I might go, I might walk. He keeps thinking everything is the player mentality. And don't get me wrong, a huge part of it is the players. A huge part of it is the players are not good enough and don't have the right mentality. It's a huge part of it. And it's not a case of a new manager comes in and we're miraculously better. That's a huge part of it. Don't get me wrong. But Ruben Amorim is getting so much wrong, but in his head, it's only the players. The reason it's only not working is these players this, these players that. Instead of trying to channel solutions, he's just like, I might walk because I can't do it with these players. I might walk because I can't do it with these players. I can't do this with these players. This is the only way with these players. I might walk. That's Ruben Amorim's head. And that's not the head of Man United manager should be. And it should be, we're going to find a way. We're going to find a way to get the best out of these players. And he's not. That's the truth of the matter. He's not. It was also said by Pete Hall that 2 other sources have insisted there's a chance Amorim could jump before he's pushed. One insider insisted Amorim will soon have to consider how to preserve his long-term reputation. This is where I feel for Amorim a bit, because his reputation was fantastic. What he did at Sporting was fantastic, and he's come to Manchester United, and wow. And the thing about Ruben Amorim is, it's not like he's done a Ten Hag where he's come to Man United, he's come third, he's won something, then it's dropped off a bit, like a Mourinho. He's won a few things and it dropped off a bit. He's come to Manchester United and been so much worse than any other manager we've had before. His reputation is already gone. If I'm Ruben Amorim, Ruben Amorim's going to press conferences saying he won't change. If I'm Ruben Amorim, I'm thinking the only way to save my reputation is to change. Because what I'm doing is not working and I'm going to get sacked if I continue it. Maybe I should try this. Maybe I should try that. That's the way I think Ruben Amorim saves his reputation. Not walking. I think if he walks, I mean, he just looks like a quitter. He looks like a quitter. And I also don't think it's good for the players to know that the manager's thought about walking many times, that the manager's not happy. You're talking about player mentality. You're talking that you're struggling to get more out of the players. And yes, the players are disgraced 1 game a week and they should be giving you more. Don't get me wrong. The players have let down Amorim, but you're letting down your players by, I might quit. Sometimes I hate them. You don't seem to have the mentality to do this job. When you first came in, you spoke good talk in an interview. You're not speaking good talk anymore. Your head is gone. There's obviously inside sources saying this job is broken, Amorim, this and that, and this job is broken, Amorim. It feels like that. As I think his wife's coming out saying he's having sleepless nights. Maybe he just doesn't have the mentality for it. And I feel for him. I want him to succeed. But I'm also like, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and blaming everyone but yourself. So what's been said? So Michael Carrick is among caretaker options if Manchester United could turn if Man United could turn to if they give up on head coach Ruben Amorim. There was talk that we could look at Carrick on a short-term bit. Obviously, his son is in and around the youth setup. He's still in and around Man United and heavily involved, and I think he'd obviously take the job in a heartbeat to be interim. It wouldn't be a permanent thing, but I mean, as an interim, I'm not against it until we can get a permanent option in. I think Glasner and Iraola are the 2 number ones for the permanent option. I did watch the Glasner interview in the end, and he does like to adapt systems, and he does like to play back 4, which makes Glasner more of a green flag, because I really don't like back 5s or back 3s, if I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. But another guy that's been floating about is Xavi, who uses his midfield the complete same way as Michael Carrick. They have quite good similarities, and Xavi, while I don't think he's the best manager in the world, I do think he can get the best out of young players and use them midfield. But if Man United call Xavi, he would immediately say yes. Xavi would love to return to football as soon as possible. He's ready. We know that he's studying the Premier League. He's desperate to work in the Premier League. We know that Xavi is desperate for the United job. It's so obvious because Xavi's agent keeps telling Romano to put it out that he's desperate for the job, because I think Xavi wants Ineos to know that he's desperate for the job should they sack Ruben Amorim. I think Xavi's telling his agent to tell Romano to put this out. I believe that. I think Xavi's desperate for the job. Apparently Glasner would take it in a heartbeat, which is crazy. And Michael Carrick is among caretaker options. Anyway, let's talk about a few other Manchester United stories outside of the manager situation, because I'm fed up of talking about the manager. Napoli would have been Mainoo's first choice if United have given him the green light to go. Give him more time to plan a move. Don't rule out Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid being among them. I think if Ruben Amorim is sacked in the next few weeks, which is quite likely unless we get a really good result performance versus Sunderland, I think Mainoo will stay if Ruben Amorim's sacked. I think if Ruben Amorim's here at Christmas time and end of Christmas and Mainoo's still not playing, I think he could go to Napoli. I think he could go to Madrid sides. All the top sides want Mainoo because he's a top player. But I don't think Man United are going to let Mainoo go anywhere without replacement, because we're pretty short in the midfield department. And last but not least, it was also mentioned by Chris Wheeler and Nathan Salt that Shea Lacey had impressed in training, by the way. It was said that it's understood that first-team players have been really impressed by Shea Lacey's technical level. This will not come as a surprise to anybody that's watched the youngster run right against opponents at academy level. But obviously, Shea Lacey's been in first-team training. He's had a bit more luck with form and fitness this season. He's a player that United value highly and want to treat very well, and he's been shocking players with his good technical level. And I think potentially if we were in the FA Cup or Conference League or Carabao Cup, he'd be getting some minutes. I don't know if he's going to get minutes this season because there's only Premier League until FA Cup comes about. I think if we're in the Conference League or Europa League, potentially there could have been minutes there. But yeah, anyway, people, thank you for watching today's video. This is your 10-minute roundup. Let me know your thoughts down below. I will be back tomorrow live. Bye.